Hi, welcome back to the iOS app development series. In this session we're going to look at macros. Now, macros are a method of replacing code at compile time with other code. So we can create a convenience method that will expand into whatever code that we want it to. So I'll provide a couple examples. First of all, let's show how to set some variables. You just click on where we see macros here, and we'll be in this window, and we can do a quick search for Preprocessor Macros, so right here. Now, if we wanted to set a value in here, just click on it. I'm just going to set author, and don't leave any spaces between these. And something else that we have to do is we have to escape the @ symbol and the quotes. And I'm just going to set my name in here. Now all of a sudden it's set for all of these, the name. Now something else you can do is I can also set debug, and I'll use this in a minute or two here, and you just leave one space, that's the delimiter, and there we go. So I've set a variable called debug, made it equal to 1, so that's also going to take effect while we're debugging, but not in the release version. Let's go back to the main.m. and we're going to add a couple other methods here. Now, first of all, let's just test that this is working. And let's output the name, author, and we'll put a comma, and we'll have author. There we go, and we see it in the list. Good. You'll notice it kind of goes to a brown color there. Build succeeded, author mat. Excellent. Okay, so you can put any constants that you're going to use all over the place that you may need to change in the future. And above the import here, what we'll do is let's show how to define a quick function. And so we'll use define macro, and I'm going to make a very quick macro that just adds two numbers together. There we go. Now, if I want to use this, let's change this to D. Let's add 1 and 3 together. Let's run that. Author 4. So it's working. Let's add another one in here. Define. And I'm just going to add one out. MSG. And I'm going to put two commands in here. Now I'm going to make them both nslog, just for the example. And %@ MSG. Close that, and it is comma semicolon delimited. nslog and we'll just put something else. And then we'll close the brackets there. Let's test this out. And we'll put blah. There we go. And let's see what happens when we run this. Got our author, blah, something else. So they both ran. So we can put multiple statements in there. And there's one more thing that we can do, which can add some logic here. We'll add an if def debug. Now remember we set this variable before only for the debugging. Then we can do a define, and we will define debug out to be MSG. We'll do nslog. You only need the brackets if you're doing more than one command. So we'll do nslog at debug, and we'll have %@ message. There we go. Now, of course, we want else, and then we want define debug out MSG, and we don't want to put anything else after this. Now, what this is going to do is it will define it, so we won't get an error when we call it, but it won't be used. It'll do nothing. And so this will only be run if we're in debugging. Let's just put some tabs in here to make it clear. Okay, so let's put debug out. And we've got our message, blah, and I'll just comment this one out. And let's run this. Debug blah. Obviously, if we're debugging, it's going to output. If we're not, it's not going to. Just remember that when we compile this, it will automatically replace this code. So instead of debug out when it's compiled, it will automatically put an nslog in there if we're debugging. If we're not debugging, it doesn't put anything in there. It'll just vanish. So it's a fairly clean way of showing debug messages, and we don't have to worry about removing them because they're removed automatically when it's compiled. We've covered macros, just quick ways of putting in convenience code. So thanks for watching, and join us for the next session.